So we're here at the Hazel Creek Drainage and Conservation Area today, and we're here because besides a big drainage pond and a creek, which would be beautiful for drone shots, there's also an old barn and an old homestead, according to this map right here, and those often make really great subjects for photos. So we're going to fly and see if we can get a couple really cool drone shots. For this first battery flight, I'm probably just going to scout around a little bit and see if I can find any cool compositions to focus on with my next batteries. I really like this tree right here. The moment I walked in, I saw this tree and it's a great subject. It's a different color. It's much taller than everything else. Let's circle it and try and find a photo of it. I got to make sure I maintain visual line of sight of the drone. I'll probably have to land and walk around this park. It's bigger than I can see the drone in. I'm going to circle it. A big photography rule is rule of thirds. Wanting to keep your subject on one of the third lines, but drone photography is more dramatic, so I like to center whatever the subject is, because centering the subject instead of putting it on a third line makes the subject more authoritative in the photo. So I'll probably try and do that here.
Fly with caution.
Fly with caution. Got to watch out for the manned aircraft. I don't see anything. Probably really big jet. 18,000 feet. I'm good. So I'm going to take a couple photos of this guy. I really like this tree. I'm not going to stay on this side of it. I'm not going to shoot facing west because I don't want to get these. You might be able to see it right here. These giant radio poles. I do not want to get that in my shot. So I'm going to stay on the west of it and shoot east. So this is probably going to be the best composition right here. I know I said I was going to ignore rule of thirds, but I'm probably going to go back to it because there is another tree adjacent to it that's a nice secondary subject that I can put on the other third. So if I put these both on thirds, it might be a really nice photo. Okay, so now I still really like this tall dead tree, so I'm going to try a top-down shot, maybe center it, and see what that looks like. I'm going to come down really close to the top of it. What I'm doing here is I'm coming really close to the top of it because I'm turning the very top branches into like a foreground of the top-down photo. Something you struggle with a lot with top-down photos is there's no foreground and there's no background. There's just the ground. So that might help the photo. I'm going to maneuver super close to this tree so I can get as much of this dead tree in the foreground of my photo as I can. The stress of being that close to an obstacle is high. So let's see, if I look at the map, that tree is right there. I should be relatively close to the homestead on the map. We'll see if this thing exists. So apparently this trail here is the homestead site. So maybe there used to be a homestead here. After this battery, we'll walk over there and check out and see if there is a homestead there. But for now, let's go see if that barn exists. It's on the map. So that's the main trail, that's the side trail. The barn should be right in here somewhere. So if I come back this way, the barn, according to the map, is supposed to be right here. I'm not seeing it, so let's see if those ponds are there. Well, it's August. Of course the ponds aren't going to be there. And on my way back, I'm going to take one more photo. When I was up, I noticed that a top-down shot of this trail looked really nice. So I'm going to get that right now. Cool. Let's just walk around a little bit and see if we can see anything good from the ground before we launch again. So this is where that old homestead was supposed to be per that map. There's a little building symbol on there and everything, so a little disappointed. On the plus side, there is an apple tree right over there. So if you ever come here, it's good. It's really good. I'm going to go try and find that barn now. Don't have a lot of hope based on what I found here, but we'll go see. I'm standing here at approximately the location where the barn is supposed to be. And again, I don't see any evidence of a structure. Fortunately though, coming out here, I see some really cool subjects back here. You can see some of these trees out in the field all alone. They're a little bluer than everything else. I think top-down shots of those will be really, really cool. And also behind me, directly behind me, not sure if it's visible right now, there's a really cool old tree that's all dead and fallen over. I think that'll make a really cool subject as well. So we're going to take off and try and get some cool photos of those. So we're going to go fly over there and try and capture these and get some really cool photos. Okay, so immediately, this thing looks really cool. This is going to be a great subject. I think this is going to be an epic photo. We just got to figure out how to compose it. Okay, so I'm going to try and go around the back of this tree because it looked like there's some space behind it. So we can use this tree as a foreground and maybe use this whole swamp area as the background for the photo. So I'm behind the tree now, and I think this is going to work out well. Now I'm probably the top right third. I'm seeing this little tree, this little sapling, that I think would be a really nice secondary subject for this photo. So I'm just going to make sure it's on one of those rule of third lines and take this photo. Okay, now let's try a top-down photo of this tree. I am a big fan of top-down photos. It's just a cool perspective, and you can only get it with a drone, so people don't see it very often. I'm really liking how there's the two-track kind of circling around the dead tree. It'll act kind of like a frame to frame it. I just got to make sure not to get the main gravel trail in the photo. So I just turned around there, and I think this orientation looks really nice. And Here's the photo. I'm going to take a couple more higher up just to see what that looks like. I probably exhausted what I could get from that dead tree. So I'm going to go over to these other trees over here, the live trees that are by themselves in the field, and use those guys as subjects now. First, I'm just going to do a straight top down. Always got to get one of those. But what I really want to do with this is try and make the tree feel alone in the field. If I position the tree like this on the bottom rule of thirds, it's including this really dark spot from the swamp way in the distance. So I think I'm going to put it in the center this time because it'll exclude the things that I don't want. And hopefully it makes the tree feel more alone. This next tree is immediately adjacent to the gravel trail. So I don't think I'm going to be able to make it feel alone when there's a trail going next to it. So I think I'm going to try and use the trail as a leading line, kind of leading from the foreground up to the tree and then past it. So let's see if I can find an angle that makes that work. Oh, I almost forgot. There's a much smaller guy a lot closer. So I think I'm going to be able to line it up so I can get this smaller tree in the foreground as a main subject and the larger dead tree that we were photographing before in the background as like a secondary minor subject. I'm going to attempt that. Now I think I'm going to take a photo using these gravel paths as kind of the subject. So they kind of loop around an area of cattails and swamp over here. So I'm going to go up high and look down and see if that creates an interesting pattern. I'm pretty happy with the photos I've gotten so far, but I think I'm going to walk around and explore this park a little more and see if there's any other cool subjects, because I haven't explored this whole park yet. It's been pretty cool. So far on this adventure, I found an apple tree and then a plum tree I didn't get on camera. And now look, a pear tree. Ooh. Even if none of these photos turn out great, this was a great adventure and a great spot to come back to. I found this super cool little spot under this willow here. You can't really do any drone photography under here because, you know, the willow, but I think I'm going to grab the camera and do some standard photography, and if I get anything good, I'll throw it up on the screen right now. So this big willow tree is going to be a great place to end today's photo walk. Thank you so much for following along on this adventure with me. And if you made it this far, I'm willing to bet you're into photography as well. So I challenge you to go out to a local park near you and see what photos you can find. I guarantee there's beautiful photos out there. You just got to go find them. Until next time.